Go.
Okay, this is our mentor meeting for the 5.2 competency-based assessment, which is clinical education technology artifact. That's a mouthful. So I had to write a paper about all of my authentic experiences with educational technology, which there's tons.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you've been teaching me about the technology. I didn't know what Canva was.
Yeah, so that was the first thing I talked about was Canva, and I ended up doing the Knox County professional development about it, which you can do that, and there's also a design school
Ooh.
on Canva, but it is, the cool part about Canva is that Knox County School, well, if you work for a school, you have a school email address, you get a free, like you get all the bells and whistles, but there is a free version for common folk. But yeah, I've used it for all my presentations, and I'm trying to make worksheets. It's still a little time consuming, but like I feel like on Teacher Pay Teachers, that's time consuming to filter through that stuff.
Yeah, it can be.
So it's like if you could get quick at making stuff, I feel like that could.
Well,
be a
especially when
time
it's
saver.
like progress monitoring stuff, like how you've been making the things for the kids that meet math goal or math stuff for their math goals. So I feel like that's great. And then can you save them after?
Yeah.
Like, so it's like a template?
Yeah. I'm gonna send you the things so you can do it too. ChatGPT was the other one. That's the AI that is so intimidating to me, and there's so many ethical issues with that. You know?
Yeah, I could see that.
But Knox County, like back in December, and I would not have read the whole thing because it was 50 pages. I would not have read it if I didn't do this assignment. But it gave a lot of information about AI and like how it could help you. So one of the things that is so cool, I'm not logged into the internet, but we can only see my thing. I'll show it to you later. But you can like level a text. You could copy a text and level it
To that kid's instructional level? That's cool. I've never used it.
I would love to have time. That's the other issue. We just don't have time to, like, you have a planning time that has not occurred yet this year. And I'm wondering, like, how do you actually have time to explore all the technology that is available to you?
That's true. Unless you do it on your own time. But by the time you get home, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, like we were at a track meet till 9,
Yeah.
and like he had karate, and it's just, it's hard. But I do find it very interesting, and I'm going to show you. There was a whole website that gave you prompts. It was called like AI prompts for educators, and it was like how to get a high quality output from ChatGPT. Because sometimes ChatGPT can give you information that's not real.
Yeah.
Like, I'll show you some stuff on that too. God, I wish I was logged on the internet, but I have to do something else. The other thing that we talked about was the Google certification, the Google Classroom, which you and I shared the grades when I was helping you.
Yeah.
So like it's that kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Excel, sharing things, loads of fun.
I don't know Excel. I would like those are part of the questions I missed when I failed the test.
Yeah.
And then the professional development stuff is the other thing I talked about. But so what stuff do you use? That was my question for you. You use a lot of Google.
I use a ton of Google. I feel like I use a ton of Google. I used to have Google Classroom, especially like during like COVID, during distance learning. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the stuff I had to learn. Because I would like do it to where I would have stations. Like Pink Table had their own stuff. Red Table had their own stuff.
Oh my gosh, online.
Online. And then we would use Zoom, obviously, but we would have, like, I would put one TA in a room and then another TA in a room, and that's how we did our lessons.
Wow.
And then I would switch the kids, or switch the TAs, I don't remember. And then I would just, like, go through and rotate through. And then, yeah, I mean, I use a ton of Google. I feel like that's the thing that I use the most.
And they use it here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's why.
That was my other question. So this Google certification talked about using Google Calendar, which I do not use. Do we use it here, or do we use like the Outlook?
We use the Outlook calendar.
Like
here.
when you're doing an IEP meeting, you have to invite people.
Yeah, so we have like our own calendar, and then there's a fall camp calendar. and we have access to that. So when I plan IEP meetings, I look at the ball camp calendar and see where I can plan. And then like if I need to, I'll call the secretary and be like, hey, I need a spot, can you find me a spot? But we schedule our own meetings.
Okay. But can you see other people's calendar to see if they're available, or you just schedule it and?
Yeah, people give you access to it, but usually it'll say like who's available at specific times.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other question, and we've talked about T and Pulse. That's the IEP thing that I'm gonna have to learn. My other question was, what other tools should I be aware of? It's like every day you learn something new, like all the ways we collect data now.
Yeah.
Or online.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of online things. Like right now I'm using the curriculum Touch Math with one of her kids, and like all of that's also online.
Oh.
Yeah, like all the data sheets and stuff like that. So I have all that. I do everything in Google Docs because it's just easier for me to go in and switch everything. I mean, Outlook is probably something good to learn for the calendar wise.
Yeah.
And then just T and Pulse. I mean,
yeah,
we love that.
Yeah, we love that.
Love it.
But our kids don't use a ton of technology either that we really are involved in. I feel like Gen Ed has more of that. Like they've got their Canvas classroom.
Yeah.
We do not have that. I don't see that Carol and Jill use it in Resource.
Yeah. I feel like in special ed, it's just such a strict curriculum. Not that's what we end up doing. Besides iWriting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And
like the kids can get onto their Canvas courses too. Like they know how to do that because of technology.
Yeah, like they've got more digital skills than you would realize.
Yeah.
Like as far as that. So okay, but that was it. I had to make a list, and basically the key is you got to keep an open mind.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna learn something new all the time.
All the time. Well, I'm gonna learn Canva today.
Yay! I'm gonna show you ChatGPT.
Oh yeah, that one too.
All right, signing off.